Hey, hey, welcome. Hi, friends. It has been a while. We have been live on the Book of Faces. It is your sassy hype queen. And this is the very first episode of my brand new talk show um, called Unmuted and Unbothered. The mic is mine. This is where we ask no permission to show up and share our truth, share our stories. Real, raw, uncut, authentic. And I'm so excited to bring this to you. And I'm so excited for today's guest. She is one of my favorite human beings on this earth. I love her to life. Marie Louise Wroe, and she is of Femmes on Fire. So we are going to bring Marie in. I cannot wait to have a conversation with this gorgeous soul and to share with you the journey that she and I have had together and she has had in her business. We hope that this conversation will inspire you and, motivate you to also just show up messy and unapologetically in everything you do. So let me get my beautiful guest on here. And hi, Marie. I see you in the comments. So welcome, welcome. We're so glad you're here with us. Give me just a moment to get the other Marie in here. Hopefully this is going to work. There she is. Hi, gorgeous.
Hello, beautiful.
I'm so glad you're here. And we have Marie Carr in the comments with us today, too.
Hello, beautiful Marie. How are you?
Well, we're so glad you're here, Marie. Why don't you just tell everybody a little bit more about yourself and a little bit about what you do, and we'll start there.
Okay. So my name is Marie Louise Wroe. I am the CEO and founder of Femmes on Fire. And this is a business that I have been building over the years, based around spirituality, women building their own spiritual journey, their own spiritual path. I am a teacher in tarot and mediumship. I also offer this. I've created courses to support women on their spiritual path along with their healing journey, because I feel like the healing journey is a massive piece of this journey. The healing path is just like it goes alongside. And I'm also a fierce fibro femme as well, so I'm healing my own fibro and supporting others doing that through the use of my own witchery, which is fabulous. I just love it.
Yes, your truth, your beautiful magic, your beautiful truth that you get to share with the world is one of the things I love about you, is how much you just step into that truth so apologetically, and you do not ask for permission to show up. You just do it and you just tell them how it is. And that is one thing I just absolutely adore and get so inspired is that power behind your message and the magic of your message. Hi, Brittany. Hi, beautiful. We're so glad you're here. So, Marie, why don't you tell them a little bit about your journey with the build of Femmes on Fire and how that all started?
So the Femmes on Fire sort of branding for me came around through the fibro thing. So the Femmes on Fire piece, I always knew there was going to be some sort of fiery piece to my business and branding, because the fire is a representation of my Scorpio energy. Although Scorpio is a water sign, it is a representation of that fiery thing. So there is that piece and that rebel feeling, but the fire is also the representation of the pain, the actual physical real pain that is felt with fibromyalgia. And I remember people asking, what does it feel like? And the way I described it was, if you could imagine your body being set on fire, that's how fibro can feel at certain times.
Yeah.
So it was like this representation of just women taking back the power of what that fire was bringing and flipping it on its head to bring this fierceness around building your own business and having a business and owning a business,
Right.
regardless of what physical health was doing.
Right. Absolutely. And I love that you taken an adversity that was given to
Mm,
you, that was handed and dealt to you. And instead of laying down in that victimhood mentality of this gets to be my existence, this gets to be my truth and my reality, you said, wait a minute, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better solution. There's got to be a better pathway to showing up in this for me and my life, not to accept the fact that I've got to, just be a victim to this, but I get to actually be a survivor and a thriver
mm.
through that.
Yeah, the victim mentality was something that came in before the business came in, and it was dark, right? It was a dark place. And again, I guess that beautiful piece of the fire imagery was like lighting my soul in a way
Yeah,
that allowed me to come out of that dark piece, that victim mentality, because I was there and it was difficult. Well, you get to choose that. Like you cannot be the victim and have a business and do all the things. You have to pull yourself around. It's the horse to water scenario. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. You have to be the one to drink.
right.
You have to be the one to set your soul on fire with something so beautiful that it just takes over, and you have this beautiful focus and you move forward with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And I love that we get to choose our hard, right?
Mm,
We get to choose our hard. We get to choose what and how things affect us, and how to show up in those things, especially when it comes to adversity, because I know I've faced a fair few share in my day and time, and but I never let it stop
mm.
me from achieving my dreams. I never let it become the definition of who I was. Is a part of the story. Hi Lauren, thanks for coming. Boy, we appreciate you. Um, but the adversity of what we face, those fires that we have to walk through. And speaking of fires we walk through, you were walking through quite the fire in your brand when we met. Can
Yeah.
you, yeah, can you share a little bit about where you were when we?
Yeah, so I had all these visions of what I sort of wanted for my business to sort of come to. And I guess I was navigating. It felt very much like I was navigating the back end. I was very much in masculine mode.
Right,
So I didn't really bring myself to the forefront and see the visuals. They were working at the time for me, but I didn't really realize there was more to come
right.
in those moments. And it wasn't until we had our beautiful chat that things just sort of lit up even more. It's like I got my soul was on fire. It was lit, but it wasn't raging at that point. And I knew something was missing, but I knew I wanted to keep those elements. It was like I'd changed my business name about 6 times within the space of 3 years because something wasn't feeling right. And then when I got to Femmes on Fire, I was like, yes, this is it. This is it. But then something was still not quite connecting with the whole piece. There was something missing, and it was more fire. It was absolutely more fire.
Absolutely. I think you were dying and you were calling out for that
Mm,
client, but you weren't calling out exactly the way you needed to call out to create the action, to create the level up. And so you guys, Marie booked the brainstorm with me, and we sat down and we peeled back the layers of this a little bit. And Marie, explain to them and share with them a little bit about that journey of
mm.
sitting with me and kind of like unhashing the magic of those moments and what we
Yeah.
did.
Yes, yes, yes. So it was all about the chatting, and it was so beautifully led from your point of view. And it just felt like a conversation. It was just, yeah, let's just talk about this. And the questions were just so beautifully asked. And it was like I was just having this, felt like we were best friends, like just chatting on a call. There was nothing like that had to make me really fucking dig deep. Do you know what I mean? It was like it wasn't uncomfortable,
Right.
But then there came an uncomfortable piece of, it's time to level up. And I was like, holy shit, Max. That felt really uncomfortable. And I was like, I don't know how. There is something missing. And we just had this chat. And then when you started to connect the dots of the fire and you mentioned the Queen of Dragons, and I was like, oh my God, Khaleesi, Game of Thrones. And it was like the image of her walking from the fire, this beautiful queen image, this strength, this confidence, this power, this sovereignty. And it was in that moment when I was like, oh my God, it has to be all or nothing. Nothing. And I was still learning so much at that point. But it was a case of, right, it's not just about changing the branding here. It's not just about changing a few graphics and changing the wording, the tagline, because Femmes on Fire was going to stick. The name wasn't going to change, but something in the background needed that rise. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And when she came through, it was like channeling that energy. It was the embodiment of the representation of that queen from that discussion of what we had. And my head going, holy shit, that's it. And it was literally a holy shit moment of, I get this embodiment. And it was, for me, that beautiful moment brought me to the path of authenticity. And I was like, I have not been my authentic self. I think, and I thought in those moments I had. It was like, fucking hell. It's like, no, you have to be completely true to who you are. That means letting go of the judgment. That means letting go of all of the people that stand around you, as Khaleesi does in Game of Thrones, and not give a shit. Give a shit about what is going on. And it's about the power that I yield within myself. Because if I yield that power, if I get to the point of harnessing that strength, that courage, that sovereignty, all of those things, the integrity, then I get to share my magic in a way that is authentic. And that's when that whole piece landed for me.
You had this moment, and I love watching this moment happen with anybody who sits across the screen from me. It's this moment where your vision and your message meet. And it becomes,
it's like you see the eyes, like the exclamation marks just land. Like,
it's this beautiful life seed that bursts in a moment for your business, for your brand, for your message, for your story. It's really rare when that moment of your vision and your message and your passion and your purpose all meeting in one like moment. And it blows my mind every time this happens with someone, because I'm like, yes, let's freaking go. Let's do this. Like, let's bring your truth to the screen. We're unmuting your magic, right? That's where the real unmuting in your microphone came out, because then you, like, once you dialed this in, the crickets weren't crickets anymore. Talk about
not. No, because this piece led to this beautiful unraveling of my witch wound. Like, that was a big journey for me, and it came from this, and I was like, this is fascinating. So I went into healing my witch wound, which opened glass ceilings of wealth. So it went from, like you say, it went from crickets to people wanting to be in my energy, people wanting to be in my space. And I have, like, I'm not a numbers girl. I'm just not a numbers girl. I don't check, I don't give a shit about the algorithm. Just not. I just show up. I'm a projector in human design as well. So it's all about me just cultivating a beautiful, safe space for myself, for my people. The numbers are irrelevant. But the people in those spaces, they became more engaging. they started to sort of come in with a different energy. It's like, wow, she's changed. They changed. It was fascinating. And even now, like I've just done a beautiful live over on the Tiki, because that's one of my beautiful platforms. It's one of my beautiful spaces, and it is so sacred. But the energy, it comes from that authenticity, just being really fucking real with who I am.
Yeah.
And I get questioned all the time. In fact, it was hilarious. The other day I got a message in my inbox, why do you have to swear so much? It sounds ridiculous. And I'm like, how do I react to this? Do I react? Do I respond? And I do nothing. But I make a reel to teach others about being so authentic and just sticking to you, being you. And all that came from someone on the call. And it was like this wasn't even a fire, it was a fucking blaze. It was like blazing, and it just has not quit. It's just got higher and higher and higher, and I'm like, this is insane. And with my spiritual self, like, I know there is more, like more to come, and it's fascinating and it's scary, but it's all amazing at the same time.
It is. And
I just want to say there, sorry Heather, I just want to say there, like that for me, it's like you go back to the branding core, go back to the branding piece. It's not just about the branding, it's not just about an image or a name of a company or a business. It's so much more. It is an embodiment of you. Because you are your business. We know this, right? We are our business. But it's that beautiful intuitive guidance that you bring in those calls that is just takes you on a journey. It's not just done and dusted. It takes you on a fucking journey, and that journey is
it's like that. It's tearing off of the tape, right? And once you tear off the tape, or even if you want to look at it like a band-aid, it's like tearing off the band-aid, and it opens the wound of authenticity that we so often just cover up because it's covered in the bandage of everybody else's thoughts, ideas, or opinions about who we are, who we should be, how we should show up, what we should be saying. This is the right way. This is the right strategy. This is the right branding, blah, 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 all the bullshit, you know, of the industry saying that there is one way when there are multiple ways that are aligned, and you have to come into that alignment for yourself.
Absolutely.
And that beauty of alignment to truth, and when you align and allow your truth and your voice and your passion to be unmuted to the world. Hi Rio, how are you, darling? It's such a beautiful moment that you get to step into the you know, the catwalks and the runways of social and be unapologetic and be you. And that let them, the power of let them. I will live and die on this hill for the rest of my life. And thank you, Brittany, for bringing this to me. Brittany brought this concept, and it was a popular concept, but Brittany brought a whole nother level of let them to my life, and helping me understand how bulletproof we become with let them. Let them have their thoughts. Let them have their opinions. Let them have their judgments. That's their opinion of you, but it doesn't mean that you, my beautiful kingdom, does not mean that you have to accept that as your truth. That is not your truth. That does not define you. And when you learn to let that bounce off of you and you let those bullets ricochet back, you do become bulletproof from other people's thoughts, ideas, and you start to shatter and smash the boxes of expectations that were set for you that you were never, and I mean never, meant to live inside of. You were not created by design to live inside of those boxes. And that's exactly what we had to do with Marie. We had to smash those boxes of expectation that she actually had for her audience.
Yeah.
And explain that a little bit.
So for me, like going back to that witch wound as a result of just stepping into authenticity, as a result of me up leveling my branding with you on that call. And it was that piece where it was the scariest fucking piece. It was like, yes, but because of the spiritual path that I'm on, because I sit in judgment every day from those that don't believe, from those that are skeptic, from those that don't understand the works that I do.
Yeah.
So I was going to be hit from the business side of judgment and from the skeptical side of judgment. I'm still hit now, but now I get to navigate that so beautifully because I let them have their say, I let them, and I don't react to those negative pieces. I respond in a way that brings lessons for others, or I respond in a way that is led with love, because love is the fucking highest vibration of all, that you know yourself on your spiritual path. We have spiritual differences, but we have this beautiful understanding that love connects us on a deeper level. Like, we have that. Doesn't matter what you believe compared to what I believe, because there is nothing in that piece that disconnects us. We connect still by that beautiful piece of love. And that is, it's like, it's not about putting things in boxes and or taking boxes. It's not. And it is about doing things your way, in your authenticity, in your beautiful magic, and not allowing others to step into your energy without permission. Like, no, fucking big fat no, right? And protecting ourselves so beautifully. Really leading with love. It's fascinating because when you lead with love, judgmental people, unkind people, really fucking don't know what to do with that.
Right? They don't.
They really don't know. Because they come in with a reaction of something that they're triggered by from what we're doing. So they expect that to be mirrored back. And when it's not, it's like, holy shit, what do I do with that?
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
What do I do with that? Like, what do I do with the fact that it didn't affect them? What do I do that it doesn't phase her or him anymore? Like, no, because that's when you do become, that's when you have your coronation moment and you make the declaration to unmute the mic of authenticity and say, you know, I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. I respect that you have an opinion, but that doesn't affect what me and my business are doing at the end of the day. That's just your thought. And you have the same lenses that I do. You don't have the same prescription of glasses that I have been given by, as we like to say, by guess, you know, God, universe, energy, source, and soul. And so and I think I just said that wrong, but that's okay.
It is what it is. It's whatever you believe it to be, right? Again, that's another piece. It's not, again, we're not here to judge each other if you get things wrong. We're just here to support whatever it is. And that's a beautiful example of that. Like, couldn't have been a more perfect timing, right? It's just, you want it to be sold, let it be sold. Whereas others who don't understand it will come in and correct. Or because they're triggered by the fact that you got it wrong. Because it has to be right for them. Well, that's okay if it has to be right for them. You call it what you want. I'm going to call it this.
Right. And I love what we like to call our messy middle conversations, where we do, like, there are spaces in our belief systems that are very different, and Marie navigated, and we have a sisterhood that we navigate through some of this with, especially when it comes to that faith and spirituality piece. There's a lot of messy middle there between legalistic belief of what you've been taught and, you know, your own journey with that belief and understanding it. And so I love that so beautifully. We meet in the middle on that.
And we Heather, that I was just saying to you earlier, like, I am so blessed to have a beautiful community of women who allow that. I don't feel triggered in those conversations.
Right.
I can be so real and accept the fact that others in that group do not believe what I believe. That's absolutely beautifully okay. I don't feel triggered when other pieces come in that I don't believe. It's not a thing because, again, that messy middle,
Yeah.
it's like the vibration of love. That's where we sit. We sit on the love line.
Right.
And
Yes.
it is messy. Love is messy, right? All of that is messy. Love is
Yes.
messy in so many ways, but love is love. And
Yeah.
we get to share something so beautiful.
And it's walking
In
through the fire of that love and
absolutely.
understanding that battlefield that's there, that is the battlefield of self first and
Mm,
foremost, the battlefield of belief, but then that battlefield of you choose that battlefield every day. You
mm,
choose to show up for your sisters. You choose to show up for the hard moments. And we choose in that group of, in that sisterhood, we show up in our truth on like authentically without disrespecting or hurting somebody else's truth. We listen, we talk through, we've wrestled through a lot of thoughts and ideas, and this is the powerful part about being in aligned community. And when you live in your authentic self and your authentic voice unapologetically, you call in that kind of community. If you're searching for that kind of community and you don't have it around you, hi Sarah, I see you. Um, our sisterhood's in the house right now, and it's so fun to have them here. But when you call in that energy and you live in that energy and you cultivate that energy in all the relationships that you have, it's such a magical place to
mm,
be, where again that truth meets that mission, vision, and passion, and it comes together in your friendships where, God, have we not leveled ourselves up so much because of that call out
mm.
into authenticity. Hi, beautiful.
Absolutely. And that beautiful piece there is that sisterhood. We get to come in and be equals regardless of background, culture, religion,
Right.
lifestyle, location, anything. All of those things, they are on the shelf of the shelf of love, right? It doesn't matter because we get to be there and be open and have these beautiful moments that we share with each other. Not one of us is on a pedestal. There is no hierarchy.
No.
It's not about controlling power. And a lot of the time in businesses, this comes through. The ego takes over, and it's a very ugly world to be in. But again, in that branding piece, that it's like when I remember that call we had, and it was like I knew my shit, but not once did I think or feel, what is she going to be able to tell me? Because it was a case of, okay, I'm listening.
Yeah.
I'm listening. What have you got? And those intuitive hits that you came in with, and I was like, it was landing.
Yeah.
Because again, that connection is equality.
Yeah.
Like we coming on the same level. We
Yeah.
have different views, different values, different beliefs. Some are the same, but then we have this beautiful connection, and it's a unified
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah.
It's so gorgeous, and I feel so blessed to have that. And anybody's sort of taking that time to step into your world with this, like you can just hear like the passion coming through from this one thing. My tagline is to create your fire, ignite your soul.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, my soul was ignited before the call, but oh my God, that fire blew up
Yeah.
afterwards. Because I remember going, oh my God, Heather, Heather, oh my God, Heather, and like typing frantically all these things and ideas and
Yeah.
graphics. And I was like, I need dragons. But here's the thing. Here's the beautiful thing at the same time as having this call with you and you coming in with this dragon piece. Another beautiful soul was coming in saying, are you a dragon oracle? I feel like you are. Let's jump on a call. And she was like, yes, you are. Because she was a dragon. She's a dragon oracle, right? He was like, you need to work with dragons more. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. You'll never guess what.
You're like,
And it was like,
alignment.
divine timing, so meant to be. You were onto something. And I was like, this is the intuition.
Yeah.
And intuition is just so beautiful when it comes through that way.
It's such a gift, and sometimes I'm floored at my own intuition's ability to speak and breathe through. Like, I call the intuition the Holy Spirit from God,
Yep.
and that Holy Spirit, when it breathes its fire and its passion and its message for the person sitting across the screen from me, like, regardless of belief or background, it's a beautiful moment that happens where, like, I'll be just sitting and listening, and I'll know exactly where the little dial switches need to be, and where the call out needs to come in, and where that energy needs to be focused. And this beautiful moment happened with this ignition and activation of your brand. Talk a little bit about how you're staying in this activation piece for your brand now, and how you've kind of built this beautiful sanctuary outside stand like expectations of the industry, because I think this is such an important, beautiful journey you're on. And I would just love for people to cultivate more of this, sitting into this aligned energy, brand activation, spirit activation space, of all those set expectations of how we are supposed to show up and how we are.
I can definitely go back to this visual of Queen of Dragons, Khaleesi coming through the flames, right? I can go back to this, nurturing the eggs in the fire and just walking through the fire unscathed, right?
Yeah.
And energy prior to this was like masculine. The energy after was like still masculine, because I wanted all the things sorted, and it was this, I was still soaking up energy from coaches and business owners that weren't aligning. And then going more into my spiritual self, more inwards on my own journey, releasing, stepping into that queen power. So the first piece was almost like on the way up to the throne. This is now, I feel very much like I'm sat in that throne. I am leading my business in the way. One of my values is freedom. And I was like, so my value, I have to read them off my wall so I forget. So faith, healing, empowerment, wealth, and freedom. And I was focusing on things like wealth, as we do in those masculine energy pieces, right? How do I make more money? How do I get to this point because I need the money? Because the scarcity piece, right?
Right.
I've done so much money work. I'm sure there's more to come, but I've done so much money work, and it was a case of my guides, and I've tapped into my guides so much over this past year, especially in the last sort of 6 months. They have taken me on this journey, and they have guided me to create freedom. And they go, forget about the wealth. The wealth in terms of financial wealth is a byproduct. It will come later. Not time right now. Okay, so step into freedom. So they asked me to surrender more and be the queen, like sit on the throne, do fuck all. And I'm like, how would I do that? Because they go, how are you going to create a business with a value, a core value of freedom? You're not embodying freedom now.
Right.
And I go, I get it. It's not a case of do. Oh, freedom. It's a case of create the freedom now. It's the manifesting piece, right? So it goes into that beautiful queen piece of sit on your throne and do less.
Yeah.
It's not about doing nothing. It's about doing less, creating the life that you desire now.
Right.
My ego was like, wasn't happy. Wasn't happy, like, what the fuck's going on? We need to be do. And I'm like, oh, I get it now. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I've played with this, especially in the past 2 months. I have made more money doing less in the past month than I have in any of the other months. How backwards is that? And they go, see, this is what we want you to understand.
Yeah.
I get it now. So the less I do, the more money I make.
Right.
But we're so conditioned to believe the harder we work, the more money we make.
Right.
Old-fashioned paradigms. And this comes from, again, embodying that energy of the queen,
Yeah.
the queen of dragons, like the queen of my business, the queen of myself first. Like you said earlier, the journey of self first, right? It's all about the self. Because then you get to become the leader
Right.
in the way that you desire to be the leader.
Right.
And
And
it's so beautifully aligned.
it's a beautiful moment when you step into that leadership for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of shut off all the noise. The
Oh,
noise you fall prey to, the do this and do that and try this strategy and try that strategy and this is your message and this is how you should write it and this is the
absolutely.
and all of those things that cause our brain to just go, what in the world am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Good enough? Am I capable enough? And what? Like, and then we start to, our compass, and I love this analogy, our compass just spins. It spins, it's looking for a true north, but there's no real direction. So it just spins until we spend this time coming back into ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and coming back into what aligns with us and for us and is us at the end of the day. And that's what I love about why I created the brainstorm the way it is and why my proprietary method works, because it activates the soul piece that the brand is missing. It gives your brand a vision and a life and a framework to kind of live within a story that is already relatively known to the world and identifiable. I mean, who doesn't, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, who doesn't love Khaleesi? I mean, she's fierce, she's fire, she's power, but
Mm-hmm.
she was hell to get to the heaven on the other side of her kingdom
Mm-hmm.
and building that empire. She had to go through hell, and we all go through that hell piece to get to the heaven of alignment on the other
Mm-hmm.
side. It's almost like the industry and the journey requires the hell piece so that you can enjoy the aligned heaven piece when you're there in that paradise that's there when you do put all the noise to sleep and you silence
Absolutely.
voices.
How how are you expected to really truly understand the light when you
Right,
have not experienced the darkest of the dark? Like,
right,
you don't have to have had the dark pieces and all the things in order to have a spiritual awakening and build a business and all the things. However, there's so many lessons in the dark.
oh gosh, are there?
So many lessons. And as you were talking about the compass, there was something that came through, and Spirit was like, okay, tell them this. So if your compass is spinning, like you said, it's spinning, 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 I invite you to take off the fucking spinner, like, and just have a moment, take it off, put it back on if you desire it, but you don't have to. Change the rule, make your own rules up.
Yes.
Like, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. I always say to my clients is, trust your body. Your body never lies.
Oh my gosh, right?
Whereas your mind will come in and tell you all sorts of untruths. Like, your mind is a motherfucker. Right?
Is it not? Is it not like the biggest battlefield is our mind? It's the biggest
Absolutely.
where we can combat the spirits and the voices of that mind, and And as our beautiful sister Brittany says, the parts of ourselves starts to speak, and we have to understand how to talk of ourselves.
Yeah.
And that is what your content is. At the end of the day, let's just kind of put this out there. It might be an out there thought, but it's just coming here, and take it or leave it, you guys. But really, it is like your thoughts, your parts coming to the screen through your story. I know Brittany's gonna love this, because they're each part of ourself has an identity, has a story, has a journey. And understanding that inside and bringing it out is such a beautiful process, and sharing. And that's why Sass in Class came to be, was because I was tired of everybody wanting me to just be this boxed up, classy professional, while I had this wild, sassy, creative, sarcastic side that all my close friends knew about. Thank you, Lisa. And the brand I had prior, I loved Lioness Awakened, and it had its season. But the thing of it is that Lioness Awakened was born from other people's thoughts, ideas, opinions, and ways. It was not fully aligned to me. I was muted in my truth. I was muted in my voice and my personality. I was told I couldn't have bright colors and funky fonts and still be taken seriously. And yet here I am with Sass in Class Creations, not only becoming a nationally published expert, now I'm an internationally published expert, and building a name for my business. And I want to say that not to gloat, but to share the fact that, but God, when you step into yourself and you step into the truth and the alignment of His voice for you, or Spirit's voice for you, and you listen to that and you trust that and you let that lead and guide you, not somebody else's compass or lens for you. Because the reality is that God, universe, power, source, soul gives you a different set of lenses than the world can see. They can't see through the lenses that you're given. And I was trying to see through a prescription that was never meant for me. It was never meant. And that is what I birthed the brainstorm to be, the prescription that gave you the lenses to be able to see your truth and share that truth so boldly. It's not about being perfect. It's not about having it all together. It's actually about showing up messy. It's about grabbing the pen and writing that imperfectly perfect post and posting it. It's better than doing nothing at all and staying silent with the duct tape of, like, well, if I did it this way, it would be better. Or if it just sounds this way, I'll post it tomorrow, but then you don't post, or you don't push play on this live video. Okay, here's a grand example, and my sisters can attest for this today. I was freaking out this morning, absolutely freaking the frick out over this episode, because it's the first of my series that I'm creating, and my logo for it was not working. Like, I have this vision for it in my head, it's just not coming out on paper. And I'm sitting there and I'm sending them variation after design, and they're probably like, Heather, just stop DMing me right now. And Marie finally said, Heather, just put it up there. Just do it. Like, just let it be. Just don't worry about it. And I did. And here is this beautiful episode that is just so magical, and it just explains showing up messy, being loud, unapologetic, because that is what this is all about. It's about being loud and unapologetic, and that is what the brainstorm is all about. It's teaching you how to unmute your mic so you can unmute your magic and bring your voice to the screen your way, your stuff, your brand. It's your business. And yes, we pay coaches and gurus and expertise, to lead us and guide us. But there's a point where the rubber hits the road and you have to make the decision, is that my truth? Is that the way that works for me? Or is it the truth that somebody else paid for me at the end of the day? It's a beautiful thing.
It really is. And going back to that messy middle piece, Heather, that you speak of is like, we know our messy middle is super fucking messy right now. Like, not everything goes to plan. Things don't always work. We're not just starting business, but we're not up there with the high ticket coaches yet. Because what we see a lot of in the online spaces are both, right? But we don't get to see the messy middle. People, it's almost like there's an embarrassment around the messy middle, and I'm like, fucking here for the messy middle shit. Like, watch the messy middle pieces, explore what's working for you in those messy middle pieces. And so many people are at this stage.
They are
putting focus and on onus onto making the money because they want to be up here with this batch because money, all the things, right? But what we don't see a lot of is a lot of that exactly what you were just saying about doing it our way and being our own person doing it. And it's one strategy just does not fit all.
Amen to that.
Your strategies do not fit all. It's about, exactly, it's about having, yes, it's okay to tap into these high ticket coaches and their strategies. Amazing what they are doing and earning all the money and doing all the things. But then quite a lot of this, and I've seen this, is forced into us lot, the messy middle pieces. You need this in order to get to this much. You need this to get to this. And I'm like, I don't fucking need anything. What I need is understanding of where I'm at right now.
Right.
I don't want to sort of have that piece put on me where I'm forced or feel like I'm in FOMO.
Right.
Because I'm not hitting that. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm guiding myself my way. This is very, very different to what I've seen and what I've experienced so far. This is very different. I'm using my spirit guides to do all of this.
Right.
And it's fascinating. But what we don't hear a lot of is how this, let's just take a strategy, right? Just imagine a strategy that has been working for certain coaches, making the money, all the things. What these coaches, what this strategy does not always allow for is the background of these people that they're selling to, the culture, the religion, this. Yes, they take into account some of the selling, how people buy, right? But the money mindset as well. Like, where do they come from in terms of inner child trauma? Any other trauma, all of this affects the way we work in business. Right? So we're not all going to fit in. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, whatever it is. And all of that needs to be sort of taken into account. And the only people, it's not their responsibility to do that. It's their responsibility to sell their shit, right? So that falls on us. We have to sort that out for ourselves. And again, going back to that beautiful piece of the journey of self. Knowing yourself so much. And I have my 4 pillars in my business: mind, body, soul, spirit, right? Knowing yourself on these 4 levels is one of the most beautiful pieces of things you can do for yourself. Whether you want to go into a spiritual journey or path or not, just having those simple things, emotional intelligence, emotional regulation, like knowing about things like the vagus nerve, simple things, breath work, meditation, just simple fucking things. Hey, Leisha. Simple things, right? Simple things. I've noticed Natasha on here as well, and Claire Hook, all the beautiful souls, Michelle.
Beautiful Michelle. Sarah's here, Brittany's here.
Like all those. Absolutely love those beautiful, beautiful souls. But there's so many factors that we have to consider
Yeah.
that sit deep within our conditioning patterning past
Yeah.
in order to move forward in creating business, in making sales.
Yeah. And building your brand, and let me just share this, you guys. Building your brand is not just about pretty colors and logos and fonts. That is the biggest misconception about brand.
Yeah.
Brand is a skeletal system of your whole business. It's the heartbeat, it's the life seed. And if your brand is not there, if your voice is not in your brand, and your whole root has been created off of somebody else's system, process, structure, this is right, this is the way. Well, if it's not aligned to you, no wonder it's failing.
No, not at all. It's about the embodiment. It's the embodiment piece. Like that for me is the number one. Your brand is about the embodiment piece. Like, what does your brand represent?
Yeah.
What is it about your brand that ignites your soul?
Yeah.
And then how can you bring that through in
Absolutely.
all the different ways that serve you? Because
Right.
again, it is about you. It's not about doing it the way she's done it or doing it the way they've done it. It's about doing the way that works for you.
Right. And
And
okay,
that's the magic.
kind of wrap this up, share with them what happened in your client activation once you did this dial, you had this call with me, we dialed things in, we shut down the crickets, we stepped you into your voice, we unmuted your authenticity and your energy. What happened at that point? How did it change the way that you and your clients were engaging with each other and talking to each other and doing this journey together? Because your group just
It
exploded.
really did. And like I said before, it not necessarily in numbers.
Right.
Like my group is not a huge amount of numbers. I think it's still under the 300 mark. But the engagement, and you don't need the numbers to make the sales in business, right? You just need you need the engagement. And I want to say like the energy, the
Yeah,
magnetism. And that's what came in for me. It was the magnetism. It was I was speaking in a different way. I up leveled.
you did.
I embodied this whole persona
Mm.
of who I was. It wasn't even about putting something on. It was like, fucking hell, this is who I am. This is me. This is how I speak. I will not apologize for the work I do and the way I come across.
Yeah.
But if people don't like it, they can move. And it was like so many people fell off, but so many people rose up as well. And it was like I put this thing out in my group where you were talking about how, like bringing baby dragons into the group. I was like, oh my God, I got an idea for this. So just again, that intuitive hit came from you, which then sparked something in me. And I was like, right, baby dragons in the group, come bring this in. And I have this beautiful element where in my group, if you want to be a baby dragon, you can be a baby dragon and you get more offers and you get to post more things and you have privileges within the group as a baby dragon. And I get to be there to watch you not just nurture yourself, but nurture you along the way and walk by your side on your beautiful spiritual growth journey as you grow into this beautiful dragon and you become your own dragon queen. And it's this, what you say, it just began to thrive more. Like I was getting bored of my group, really fucking bored of like posting and happening, all the things, very mundane actually.
Yeah,
It,
was very.
how I just sounded is how the group felt, like really fucking mundane. And it just lifted the vibe so much. And it's just constant now. It's just a constant, beautiful vibration in there. Like come in, ask the questions. Don't be scared to post. This is a safe space because for me, that beautiful piece of safety and sacredness within that group for the conversations that we have, because they are tricky conversations.
Yeah.
Like you can't just post around on Facebook like I'm seeing freaking dead people. What do I do? It's sensitive material.
Right.
And
You want to have a safety net, that safe place. And it's been so fun to watch you go from that I fucking give up energy Like, I give up. That's where you were when you were sitting across the table from me.
Yeah.
Saw it in your face. I felt the burnout energy. I felt the exhaustion level in you. I felt the no, what's going on? This woman's a queen and she needs to step into her queendom, like into
Mhm.
her identity, into her passion and purpose. And that's when we started peeling back these beautiful layers. And then the
Yeah.
activation came after that. It is just so magnetic. So you guys, if you want the same level of activation that Marie has, that's what my brainstorm is all about. And it's different for every beautiful soul that sits across from me because it is an intuitive call.
Mm.
It's not one direct pathway. Each person got something so uniquely different for their business, but the one thing that stays the same is the activation, the energy, the fire breathing life into your business. When in that moment, when we take that duct tape off your lips and we unzip the mutedness of your personality and we start to find ways to bring that to the screen, it's just incredible. So Marie, I do want to give you an opportunity to share with everybody. What are you up to? What are your current offers that you're currently sharing, and give you an opportunity to invite some people in.
But yeah, first of all, I have my Femmes on Fire group, so you can come in there. This is a group for beautiful women who want to sort of unleash their spiritual side and build that beautiful spiritual path for themselves. And the spiritual path is anything from tarot reading, mediumship, to working in medical. Like, there's so many different ways you can have a spiritual path. It's just making sure that you're awake and aware of yourself so much that you get to choose. You get to choose, and that's the beautiful piece.
Yeah.
I am starting at the end of this month. I'm so excited because one of my clients is here right now. She came in to my high ticket piece, which is a year. It's called Spiritual Ascension. It is 1 year to work with me. We're going to unlock that spiritual path within that 1 year with some beautiful courses, some beautiful calls, and some amazing bonuses along the way. And we're going to get to sort of dig deep and work on some of the healing pieces as well around the witch wound, and really get to build your spiritual business as well in that year. And it's just going to be really expansive, quite a short amount of time. So it is going to be a lot.
Yeah.
If you're here and you're willing and you're ready, absolutely. And then other than that, I just have other courses and stuff on my website. Like, I have a tarot course, I have mediumship courses, I have healing courses, I have a course for reframing your pain for fibro, finding out how to heal and navigate fibro in a different way. I'm here for all of that beautifulness.
Well,
So yeah, all thoughts.
I love that. I love that your magic is unmuted and living so loud now. And you guys, the brainstorm call is free. It's free. I'm not asking you to pay anything. It is my gift to you to come and hang out with me and activate the fire in your brand. Now, I will say unapologetically and truthfully and transparently that yes, I will share how we can continue to work together. As you know, a lot of coaches won't necessarily say that they're doing that, but I will tell you straight out, like, it is, come spend time with me and get this magic and get this activation. But I would love for you to work with me to actually bring it to life, to implement it, to bring it to the screen, because that's what Marie and so many others have done so fiercely, so unapologetically. And, Marie is an amazing, gorgeous, incredible soul. I'm so blessed to call her one of my best friends and one of my soul sisters. And you will be not disappointed to be in her space whatsoever. And she will respect you. Let me put this very clearly. She will respect you where you are in your journey. And she will respect your spirituality. She will not enforce or push anything on you. We are not about that life. We're about sharing, exploring, discovering, learning, growing, and really just finding out what works and what aligns for us at the end of the day. And that is what this is all about. That is what this whole talk show is being created. I'm going to be bringing on guests who have been, yes, through my brainstorm, but there will be some guests that haven't been, that I've just had an opportunity to connect with and have beautiful businesses. And I just want to share those people who are authentically showing up and aligning in their truth. So here's the opportunity to show up, unmute your mic, unmute yourself and take the mic and be unapologetically you. The option and the choice is yours. So grab your mic and join us on this stage, because it's a pretty beautiful, amazing, incredible place to be. And I will have another episode this week. I'm going to be bringing one of my really good friends, Dwayne, on, and his story is incredible. You want to talk about someone who's faced some adversities and built something incredible from it? This man has, and he has unmuted his mic of authenticity, and that stage is blessing his socks off. So that will be Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard. Marie, do you have any closing words for our audience today?
I would just absolutely guide anybody who is, like you said, in that piece of uncertainty. If you're starting a business and don't know where to go with the branding or the title, or if you're in business and you just need that fire igniting, absolutely jump on a call with Heather. It's so worth it.
Awesome. Well, you guys, I look forward to seeing you on Friday with Dwayne. Marie, thank you so much for coming to spend time.
Thank you for having me.
And everybody, have a beautiful rest of your day. We'll see you soon, okay? Bye.